saying that some leaders in West Nile refused this place, saying it's theirs. That's why the stadium is not to be put there. Now he requested West Nilers to get places so that the government can build a stadium for West Nile right here, because in Uganda, without West Nile, he said there is literally no football. That is what he said. So that is it. And we've been saying Barify, not government here and there. Do you believe maybe that is it, or it's a little bit political? Or if that is true, where do you see the stadiums going? Because he went to Leju, he went to Yumbe, he's in Arua, he went yesterday to Paida, and not Paida, Nebi. He also had meeting with the people there in Gaf. Of course, a meeting that had all the selected individuals to say. Luckily enough, some of us were part of it, but all in all, still he promised the same, saying that a district like Nebi needed to be given also a stadium. If they give a land, I think some acres of land around to see that this works out in there. Around, I think 65, 69, something of that kind. I can't estimate, but that's it. And promised also to be giving around 10 balls to every other club in the district through the DFA of Nebi. Now let's start from Arua, then we proceed to Nebi, then we straight go to Kampala, where the headquarters are.
Basically, starting with there is Arua. Talking about a Barify Stadium, this is something that has hung on for quite some time now. You would really wonder if you want to look if you want to look at a mistake that could possibly stop all findings of how Barify or Dorcas Njikuru Stadium has remained like that. You would literally come down to the reasons the minister actually gave in. If you look at Barify, it is said, rumors is said that Barify has land titles of people that are even known. And we remember there was a story that came through where, of course, Salim Saleh wanted to put up a place and build that and all that. We did see the riots that came through from the communities. And when you try following that story, it is being said that these communities that have come forward to riot are being pushed, or they are under the umbrella of certain local leaders or certain political leaders that we have. So basically that to me is something I want to accept, and really it is a very wrong one, and it is hindering development, because now, yes, if this place belongs to a few people, or if it is owned by certain people, why don't they put up an infrastructure there that would benefit the whole region? I mean, you're claiming ownership of a place, and then you're not putting up a developmental infrastructure in there. What is its use? It's better you give this out to someone who literally can actually put up there some highly improved infrastructure that in turn would be beneficial to the community. And I think really, if now he gets, the Minister of Sports, if he really gets committed and does follow up on some of these things, trust the process, for me, I believe that these are things that definitely will work out. And we should really, people out there, we should stop our selfish ambitions, because you're now returning such a place. You're not developing it. It is not benefiting you. It is not benefiting the community. I mean, this whole thing becomes, and I am proud to also trust the Greater Ruru sub-region, that they were asked for a large acre of land to put up. And trust me, those people are going to give in that, by the way. We all know how those people are very loving and very supportive when it comes to football. And for me, I trust that they will definitely go and sit down and have more meetings from the one that you people had yesterday with the minister. And it will definitely yield fruit. That is what I believe about the Arua sub-region.
Interestingly, we're waiting to see what exactly he has, but he is one guy who came, of course, with a lot of things. Now, with his coming, he also had the former president, Engineer Moses Magogo, with whom he came alongside to come in for the fundraiser for the Mighty Club, Onduparaka Football Club. And in that, he also tried so much to see that he made his pledges, and probably also requested for that, because for the portfolios that he talked about, around 50 million, plus of course the one that is going to be from the president, that's around let's say 70 million, that could be coming there, plus the MPs that gave also their monies and some of the pledges. You could add some. It would be reaching roughly around 100 plus million. But all in all, with that, the target is now how the teams will be, because the target is for acquisition of course, the cost for the team. Now, one credit should be given to the area MP of course, Ivo West, yes, because he put it there. Now, again, the question everyone is raising is, were there no West Nile MPs or legislators who could not make it there? Because very many tried, were invited and couldn't turn up. But as we talk right now, very many are invited at Pakwach to go and I think talk about the road thing. You were seeing already people showing faces here and there. Those are some of the things that I'm talking about. But all in all, if you look at a football club in the region, these football clubs do one thing, and the one thing is that they add onto different sectors. One, they add employment. There's adventure that is brought. There are things that are brought into these teams. You would see that clubs are also pushing. I mean, this business community benefit. So it's so terrible that things are happening. All in all, those are some of the things. But I want to leave the political bit of it. I want to come to the part that the sports ministers talked about support for clubs and about how football can be developed in the country right now. AFCON is coming, the Pamoja bill is, you're seeing things are coming, and all in all, this is through that. Do you see us acquire, or do you see West Nile having several of these places to build up a stadium?
Basically, which other land is there, Mr. Wayne, that we can think of maybe and hand over to the government to put up a stadium there? I don't literally see any land that now is going to be unattached, because the one that we have at hand already has attachments. The minister did confirm that this Saturday when they came down at Winlife Stadium. So I think if the other lands are certainly, they could be in the outskirts of Arua city, but if it is within the city, I don't see literally about the community coming up to, of course, identify a land that can be handed over for development. Unless otherwise, we will also agree and say that now, since Arua Hill Stadium is there, maybe it has works already did start there.
Arua Hill Stadium has been used for 40 years by the municipal council, by then the city. 40 years to engineer, of course, to DI, and that's why they still have the full charge authority over Arua Hill. 40 years.
So that's why I'm saying if the community can get involved and maybe right procedures are followed and a contract or an agreement is reached between because now we've seen that the structure being there for quite some time, we're not seeing activities ongoing there apart from the other activities that of course are not related to this very structure to finish it and complete it and all that. So basically, if maybe it is narrowed down and agreements are reached, I think they needed to take up now that stadium and put it to a very complete one and then hand it over to the community to use still under there is a DI. So basically, I think that will benefit. But apart from that, I literally don't see any land that is not attached that could probably be used for putting up a stadium for West Nile.
All right, West Nile need to start up and see whatever happens, and because it's one of the biggest things that you could be talking about right about now. But I still have feelings that we should leave politics aside to make growth or development in this region. If not, we're going to crash, and we shall not have a lot of development right through our region because the government is ready to put that, and you as the individuals are not ready to probably adhere to the situation. So I think it's so challenging. But all in all, that's one big thing that we're talking about right about now, and the turn-up was massive for the fundraiser. I think this time around I can tell you that it's going to be rightly that things will be getting to the right place. Back to whatever is happening. Today is probably the 30th, and we're getting into the new month of October by tomorrow. Now, in this big league, and the FUFA big league starts on 6th, that's going to be, I think, a Sunday, and a game that will be having a couple of games listed. But before that, teams have prepared. I've seen Calvary walloping a team, I think, called Savannah or Sunrise, 10 goals to nil in a friendly or a build-up game. I've seen teams like Blacks Power going to a Juman Town Council, beating them by 3 goals to nil. We've seen, of course, previously Onduparaka having now I'm looking at the Northern Uganda teams that could be right there. And two, remember, there's also something I want us to discuss, because the minister did say that they were going to sign an agreement with people at Akibwa Stadium to start also the construction. Where next will Blacks Power host their game is also another thing in case this project starts. Those are also some of the things. But all in all, big league starts on 6th, and Onduparaka Football Club still announced, or we still announced more names to come. And I can confirm to you, we are still announcing more new signings into the club of Onduparaka Football Club. Now, that is one big thing I can give you. And this week is for prayer moment. So it's going to be fasting and prayer. Something that has, of course, come through. Very many have been asking me why that is coming in there. I can tell you it's because this is a faith-founded club, of course, of Onduparaka. And that's the reason why we're getting into fasting and prayers for the season. We believe by we've been doing this routinely, but this time around the fans also publicly have requested for that, and they needed to be part of it. So we have also made sure that now we can fast together and make sure this works out. But intensity is one big thing now. Susie, what do you talk about the upcoming games of the fixture? Northern Ugandan teams, mostly I should say, in match day 1 will be meeting, because Calvary will be having their games in the match day 2. Match day 1 for the northern teams, I should say, Onduparaka will be facing Paida Black Angels. That means Calvary was supposed to be also in action, but which they will not be. And then Arua Hill will be welcoming the team of Blacks Power at that is their home. All these are some of the games that are coming. What are you anticipating?
I am anticipating a very tough derby, by the way. Come 6th, that will be the opening of course, the FUFA Big League in there. And of course, this day is going to be, by the way, a very tough one, because these are, to me, in Big League, these the 2 teams in West Nile, I should say, the most followed teams with a very high fan base. There is the Black Angels and of course Onduparaka Football Club. So if you look at that clash alone, to me it's going to be a high intensity game. It's going to be a highly populated game, fan base wise, because look at the fans of the Black Angels. We've ever attended their games, so when you know what it means when the Black Angels is playing. And then coming down to Onduparaka Football Club, we know what it means when Onduparaka Football Club is playing. Being the first day, there are a lot of fans out there that have literally been saying they miss Greenland, they miss Derby, they miss games, serious games. So basically I think this is going to be a very huge one. And then also, turning the focus to Blacks Power and Arua Hill Soccer Club that initially was in Arua, that has been moved to Gulu. So we shall also be seeing a derby the other side. And for the fact that Arua Hill was moved the other side, we were very skeptical, and we did have a lot of faults whether we did even have that discussion here on one of the shows. We were very skeptical about if these people will of course accept Arua Hill Soccer Club and embrace it and support it. But we did see a very huge turn up when they played KCCA in that friendly, and they have been continuing to play friendlies, by the way. And this, I thought, for me, that the huge turn up was because of the other team that they were playing. But no, these other teams that they've been playing, we've even been seeing a very huge turnout. We've been seeing some of the added fans follow them, even from Arua here up to Gulu to Guangwa. So basically, to me, this also is going to be a very, very huge one. I don't know if this is going to be a turning point for northern Uganda, to see that they push through at least 2 or 3 teams into there is a UPL, because currently I don't see any team there.
In
so
fact, if you look at the fixtures, most of all the clubs, northern Uganda clubs, have been fixed to play each other. Because you'll see Onduparaka playing by the Black Angels, still in northern Uganda. Black Spur is playing Arua Hill Sports Club. It's just no much distance yet. I think they want to see, because Arua Hill is in Gulu. This Black Spur is in Lira, just a neighbor. Onduparaka is here in Arua, and Paide is in Paide and Zombo. It's only Calvary that has not played, but I think they're having the first game against Buhimba. And that's also another big thing that you could be seeing right there. So a lot of things, though there were some errors made in the first fixture or the draft, that you could be seeing them worked upon. And then, of course, we're expecting also international break coming soon. In October, by the way, a lot of things that will be coming to see in there. Arua Hill had a request to change their club name to, in fact, they wrote to a club, I think, called Gulu United. If not Gulu, then actually United Football Club, which they wanted to have a change of Arua Hill to that after a season. But the club owners of Choli United have said no. Because I think there's Blue United already. Now there's actually United Football Club, I think. They wanted to shift, they wrote to them, and I have the 2 copies of the letters in reference that they are saying no. We have thought of this and looked at it, but we have built our brand for long, and we have invested in this team. So the stakeholders are saying no. You look at all this, that means the process is, they are supposed to now look for another name to see that it will be, because a name that won't unify Arua Hill to this is going to cost them, fan base wise. 2, I did see them unveil their kits. It's still the same kits of last season, or last year, or the previous year. Last season they didn't play much. That is still the same Arua Hill. They are going to put red, blue, black, and that they still have the same design, the same, I think the remainders that were still there, they are going to use them to make sure that, because trust me, people didn't buy them so much. Even the fans themselves, they don't acquire much. So they still have them at Entebbe, their offices here of Arua, I think, which have been collected to see that it will maybe sell out this time, and then make a new one. So I think that's not a bad one, because business, for a businessman, that's what you can think. First sell off that and get another design that will be coming in there better. So those are some of the things that I can confirm to you that are going to be happening in the due course of the games that are coming through. But all in all, I would want us to talk about one big thing in the StarTimes Uganda Premier League, which right now is ongoing. The StarTimes Uganda Premier League has 3 things that I want us to talk before we will close this first round chapter. One of them is about how teams are performing. NEC Football Club seems to be dominating so much. Sports Club Villa seems not to be dropping its step down of saying no, yes, we tried our level best, we are still the champions, crowned the champions, we need to do this. And at the same time, Hussein Balango is still proving people wrong. Viper Sports Club announced another assistant coach, Luzinda. All these are some of the things that that we shall be talking about. But let's take a break. We'll be coming back to discuss about this. What about the return of Anna Kusadat back to Uganda and now back to KCCA? What are you anticipating right there? What did happen at Dundee United? Those are some of the big talking points that we should be coming right up with. Stay glued. Don't move.